See shadow, it's all I know. Tell me now, where did you go? I lost the light, look in your eyes. I come you down, let it shine. I see shadow, it's all I know. Tell me now, where did you go? You go.
Hello Aries, welcome to your June 2019 reading. If you are new, I am Princess India. Welcome to my channel. If you are family, welcome back, my friend. So here's the funny thing. This is gonna sound really crazy. The first question that I had before I started, the camera was SpongeBob an Aries? How weird is that? My instant response is like, nah, SpongeBob is definitely a Cancer, right? But then the next thought that comes to me is the ick, right? And if you watch SpongeBob, then I'm pretty sure that you're familiar with that. But you can always Google it if you're not sure. But I would say that that's the the feeling I think Aries is having coming into June is the ick. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like this sticky, stuck kind of feeling, wanting to get out of whatever it is you're in, but not quite sure how to do that, you know? So we're going to go ahead and jump right into you guys' cards. We're going to be looking at you as well as your person of interest. And we're going to start with the energy between you two. But I'm sure if you've cross-watched other videos, you already know how this is going to go. So it's no telling. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we're going to ask Spirit to give us clear, indirect guidance for my Aries for June 1st through 15th, please, Spirit. Okay, if we can get this together. Anything they need to know, anything of utmost importance, I ask that come to the forefront of this here reading. And I ask that you give me the ability to interpret these messages in a clear and concise manner. And as always, I thank you in advance, Spirit, because I know you're good for it. Dag nabbit, son of a gun. So let's see, Aries, what is going on? So first, we're going to start with the energy between you and your person of interest. That, of course, can be anyone. You know what I'm saying? If you're a cross-watcher, you definitely may resonate more on the side where I'm reading for the Aries that are subscribed to me. And the Aries that you're cross-watching for may resonate more on the side of the person of interest. So the first card that we have with the energy between you and another person is the High Priestess. And the first thing I hear is secrets. Whew. And then we got the Two of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. So first thing that comes to my mind, wow, it's two different things. First thing that comes to my mind is someone's keeping a secret. Someone is going back and forth on whether or not they should tell this secret. Now, how the secret affects Aries is in the fact that if you've been feeling stuck, it's not accidental. Whoever this person would be, they have some type of vested interest or some hand in your being stuck or things not necessarily working out per se, right? And because it's almost like they took your legs from under you in a sense. I'm trying to think of how that would manifest like in 3D. Okay, so say hypothetically if this was with work. It would be the department that you're working in, right? There's a promotion that's available like in another department. And you apply for it, but you never hear anything back and you keep getting the runaround. This secret that would be being kept is that your supervisor went to the other department and said that Aries has this particular issue with this thing. So kind of think twice before you consider them for this position. And it's kind of like the person who did that. But see, I don't feel like it would be that direct. It's almost like if this person is friends with the department head, right? Like with the other department head of the promotion that you applied for, they're friends outside of work. And if, you know, hypothetically, they were talking about their employees and you came up in conversation, and the person that you applied for the promotion with put 2 and 2 together and knew that you were the person. And then, so, because I feel like the person didn't necessarily do it with malicious intent. It's just they were kind of blabbering, not realizing what they were saying. And it's like in June, they're coming to the realization that the reason why you didn't get the promotion was because of what they said. And it's them debating on whether or not they should tell you, right? So not saying that that's the literal circumstance, but listening to the essence of it, that's like what I'm feeling that you guys are dealing with. But it's almost like another person has a hand in your stagnation and them contemplating on whether or not they should tell you the truth about it. The other way that I'm hearing this is that Aries may be discerning this. Like you guys may feel like that whole scenario I just explained, you guys feel something like that is going on, but you don't have any proof of it. And this is kind of like confirmation that that is what's going on. So the first card that we have for Aries, we have the 9 of Wands, rightfully so. It's like it would seem as if you're being defensive against an enemy that doesn't exist, but that's not necessarily true. It's because it's like you sense it. So it's like you're getting intuitive hits about this. So it's kind of one of those things where there's no external proof that this is going on. And I want to be very clear when I say that, because I don't want us going into the realm of like, you know, hidden enemies and being delusional with it or anything. It's like this is something where there's clearly, and I would say that it's more or less you being in tune with your intuition too. So it's like if we went back to the job scenario, it's not like a self-victimization type of thing. It's just like, you know that something's very wrong here because there's no reason why this should not have gone in your favor type of deal. The next card that we have is the 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, it's an unfair situation. Then we have the 7 of Swords. Yeah, dog. See this? Y'all are sensing this. Y'all know something popped off. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know something popped off intuitively. So, because it's like it's an unfair. It's like just like how I said the rug being, or your legs being pulled from under you, the rug being pulled from under you. That's very true. The next card, oh well, that's good. The next card that we have is the Ace of Pentacles. So I'm not really too much concerned about it. Whatever this is, like with this person in particular, that's why this may be kind of riding on them, or heavy in their mind. And I could even say I could look at this from a relationship standpoint as well. Because if we looked at this like romantic, it would be like a person that you guys weren't committed to. Like say if it was like a situationship type of deal, you're on the defense because, and we talked about this in another reading, because it's like there's no container for me to put my emotions or for me to put my feelings. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of on guard because even though this feels like a relationship, it really isn't one. So that may have caused you to go like flippy floppy in your emotions, because it's like, it's almost like not feeling safe, right? Because I always say like intimacy cannot be, I don't remember whose reading I went on and ran about this. Maybe it was Gemini, I don't know. But intimacy cannot be cultivated in a situation in which both people don't have some sense of agreement of what we're doing or where we're going or what it is that we're building. So it'll end up being where you're overcompensating in a relationship. And then when the person does something that triggers you, you'll instantly pull everything back. And then it becomes the same repeated pattern of you're all in, then you're all out, you're all in, and you're all out, right? And then if we talk about trying to move on, and I had someone tell me this before, How do you break up with someone you were never with? Right? And that's that weird gray area of, millennial relationships these days. It's like, and I work with a lot of women that go through that, to where you're grieving a breakup for a relationship that never technically existed, but it's like, on an emotional sense, it is a real relationship because you went through all of the emotional stages or attachment within a relationship. So when something like that ends, but it never really had a beginning, it puts a person in a very convoluted state, because you feel foolish for being upset and don't feel that you have the right to be upset because it wasn't technically really a relationship. But in my eyes, in an emotional sense, that's really what matters. It's the fact that emotionally you were in a connection with a person, right? So putting this within the framework of a romantic situation, it would more or less be you being in this hyper vigilant state, almost kind of like shell shocked in a sense, because I just heard, they giveth and they taketh away, right? So it's kind of being traumatized by like a situation with someone where they giveth and they taketh away. So it's almost like, what is it? It's like the carrot on the string. I'm seeing like a cartoon, but I'm seeing like an animal on a treadmill. That's so strange. But it's like, so they have like this thing hanging in front of them and they're on the treadmill and they're like running after it, but you never get close. You know what I'm saying? So it's being stuck in a cycle where that's consistently the issue, and that emotionally affecting a person to where you're kind of like shell shocked and hyper vigilant, because you never quite know what to expect. Just when you think you're about to get what you deserve, the person kind of like yanks the rug from under you. But the whole thing is that what it's looking like to me, and this can go one or two ways, and I'm not going to know till I get to your person of interest side, but on one end, this person can be aware of the fact that they're in control, because what this is pretty much saying to me is that this person is fully aware that they've been doing this to you. So it's like they're in control. So it's more or less having the illusion of freedom in the situation, but it's like you've never really been a part of the connection. It's more or less that they've been in control, but you just have not realized it because of this little game that they've been playing, is like giving you just enough, And then that pulling away is kind of what keeps you there, because you want to have resolution, you want to have closure, you want to understand what happened. You know what I'm saying? So the person has control in that way. So it's either this person is feeling guilty and they're contemplating on telling you that they've been doing this, or, and I think that would be because the person sees you can't move on. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like the person feels guilt, similar to how I was like saying with the work situation, because they're now seeing how them like orchestrating this connection this way, how this was beneficial for them. But now they're seeing, so if there's like a separation between you two, it's seeing that you can't move on. And the reason why you can't is because they see that how they handled this left you in a place where there is no resolution. So it's almost them kind of throwing you a bone out of a feeling of like guilt, of like, dang, the reason why they're still waiting on me is because I did this. So it's like with the Ace of Pentacles, it's almost like them giving you your walking papers, in a sense, like setting you free from this prison of, trying to figure out if I did something wrong or so on and so forth, if that makes sense. So let's move on to their energy. But I mean, overall, man, it feels heavily to me like a person who's going back and forth. Like, even if we removed all other people from it, It feels a lot like a person who's going back and forth because you don't trust your intuition. So it's like it's a situation that isn't in your highest good, and your spirit is telling you that it's not. But you're fighting with yourself because in reality, nothing is wrong here. So it's like I'm tripping because they're not like that, or I don't even see any proof of that. Or if you talk to someone, it's like, why would you think that they would do that type of deal? But it's like in your spirit, it's like red alert, red alert, red alert type of deal. So for your person of interest, let's see what's going on with them. This is interesting. Whoa. First card for your person of interest, we have the Tower in the reverse. That's interesting. Then we have, whoa, the Ace of Swords in reverse. Yeah, man. Seeing the Tower in the reverse and seeing the Ace of Swords in reverse, it's like, you know, I look at the Tower as like crisis averted, but it's almost like crisis averted for me because of my lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have to face the consequences of my actions because I lied to protect myself, but it's almost like me saving myself from the Tower has inadvertently transferred that Tower to the other person, if that's making sense, which would be Aries. Next card that we have is the Hermit in the reverse. Oh, man. That is interesting. As far as with this person, I don't even really feel like y'all are in contact with them anymore. So this person may be looking at this from, well, I don't want to say like looking at it from afar. How am I trying to say that? I don't know. It's almost like, well, I guess what I would mean by afar is like, it's either you're not speaking to them, y'all aren't talking to each other anymore, or this person hasn't talked to you in a while, or you guys haven't had connection in a while. And it's like this person in their own process. So I don't know if this is somebody like from the past, like whether it's with a job or a relationship situation, if this is somebody from the past and the person is just having a crisis of conscience right now. And I don't know why the energy that I'm feeling is kind of like rehab, right? So it's kind of like if somebody went into rehab or a person went into like a 12-step program, and it's like prior to that, they didn't see how the decisions they were making or how they were interacting with people, how that was hurting other people. And it's like them being in this state right now. So it doesn't literally have to be rehab or like a 12-step program. I mean, it could literally be somebody finding Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they went back to church or something. But it's something where this person has made a step off the path they were on. And it's like they're trying to go in the direction of a new life, right? And it's something about them isolating themselves from the way that they used to be that's making it very clear to them how wrong they were about this. So it's almost like Aries, or the cross watcher, felt they were in a situation that wasn't right. They had no proof of it. So for a long time, they've been bearing the burden of this. And it's almost like this person over here is finally realizing, holy crap, like I did that. Like that's all my fault. So it's like they're feeling this way because of what I did to them. And it's like they never necessarily had to pay the price for this. Man, this is getting really specific, and it's bringing up like this might be, and this isn't going to be for everybody, but that's the vibe that I just got. This may literally be, dude, like somebody being like sexually abused as a kid. I'm going to have to put a trigger warning on this. And that's what I'm saying. This is not for everybody. This may be literally maybe one person. And this would be like the person who abused them. And it's like the Aries or the cross watcher, it's like they were taken advantage of, right, in this situation, right? And it's almost carrying this burden your whole life, feeling like this person took advantage of you, and it's like they never paid the price for it. But it's like with this person, and what would make this very specific, how you would know that I'm talking to you specifically, is like in comparison, it would seem that this person, like, they did this to you and their life is better off than yours is, right? Like they never paid the price for what they did and you've been left bearing the burden of it, right? But it's like in truth, how this person's like karma manifested was because they either got heavy into an addiction, or they were in and out of jail, or it's something like that. It's like from the exterior, like from the outside looking in, everything looked fine, but it's almost like and I feel it's more like a drug addiction or something like that. But now with this person trying to get themselves straight, it's like them, and that's why I say like addiction, because it's like them getting themselves straight, and now since they're clear-headed and they're able to self-reflect, it's like now they're seeing how much damage they actually caused. And it's like that back and forth thing is almost like them wanting to apologize. It's like them saying, like, I see what I did and how, you know, like I took, and specifically like in this situation, be like, took your innocence from you. And it's like, I'm sorry type of deal. So it's more or less like this person feeling remorseful. Now that's just one, like I said, one person. That ain't everybody. But I still feel this same sense of it being like a person seeing the error of their ways, you know? And I don't know, man, it feels like, and not even just with Aries, is just like in the bigger scheme, like coming out of just that one person. It's like this person seeing how they've harmed and hurt a lot of people, you know? And going to this in a sense of like a romantic situation, it's like a person seeing how they took advantage of Aries, and it's like it's gonna pan out like one or two ways, where either this person is going to offer an apology to Aries to reveal everything to them of like how they had either played mind games and set the situation up in their favor so they could benefit from it, right? So how they, you know, kind of took Aries for granted and took advantage of them and like give them their freedom papers that way. Or it's gonna be someone who, you know, you may have been like their fallback girl in a sense. So it's like somebody who always went out, or fallback girl or boy, where in the energy that I feel is kind of like the good girl or the good guy. And you know how they always say like good guys finish last. So it's kind of like you being a very studious, you know, intelligent person, and like this person always dated people who were like, you know, snatched waist, like, you know, buku makeup, or like, you know, dudes who are like muscles, meathead type of dudes. But it's like every time a relationship wouldn't work out, they would always come back to you, but they would never actually commit to you. And it's like the reason why you kept letting this person come back is because you were hoping that one day they would realize like you're the one and they would like commit, right? So that's, wow. Forrest Gump is what Spirit just said. It's like Jenny and Forrest Gump, right? So in a romantic sense, this relationship would be like Jenny and Forrest Gump's relationship. And you know how, like, you know, Forrest was doing his thug thizzle, you know what I'm saying, being great, you know what I'm saying? I just felt like running. And then this person goes out into the world, you know, doing all of this stuff, trying to find themselves, and all of that to realize, like, Aries, or the cross watcher of an Aries, is that person. And it's like them coming back and finally giving that pentacle, right? But that would be totally on you if you want to take that, daddy. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, man. I look at Forrest Gump and I be thinking like, Forrest, dog, how did you do it? Like, she gonna come back and she's sick too? But then again, they had a kid together, so hopefully no one's coming back to tell you guys that you have children, because that would be awkward, you know? But anyway, we're going to go ahead and throw the dice of resonance. What? Oh. Is that it, or is it the animal? Okay. Sorry about that. You know, the boss. I was going to say boss man, but spirit isn't man. It fell on Libra. But, should I pull this first or do the dice first? Okay, I'll do the dice first. All right. So, I'm going to toss out the dice of resonance, and then I'm going to pull an angel answer card. So, with this, I'm assuming you could ask another question. But, you know, what have you. But I'm going to toss out the dice of resonance. If you want to ask a yes or no question, go ahead and pause me now. Formulate that question and unpause me when you're ready. But after this, we're going to go over to the Lurker's Lounge to look at the inner psychology of this person. And I'm interested in that because, I mean, of course, still in all, because, you know, y'all over there, my whole goal is to help you guys kind of see where this person is at, just to kind of like check their motives on some stuff. Because, you know, this does sound like a tough situation, but it's really on if, you know, just giving you more information to wait. Because I can't lie, dog, that is tough. But I like the fact that Spirit said Forrest Gump, because that's probably like the perfect depiction of what it is that I'm seeing. It's just like, why the heck don't you see me? But why the heck that Jenny had to come back when she was dying? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, enough of that. Throw out these dice of resonance. All right. So we have Pisces. We have Taurus. Oh, that's funny. The answer to your question is no. We have Moon and Bay Lover Partner. So Pisces, Taurus, Moon, no, is the answer to the question, and Bay Lover or Partner. So let's see. There's no telling how these are going to come out, but if you want to ask another question, go ahead and formulate that now, and let's see what comes out. This is interesting. Interesting energy. No lie. Every time I do Aries reading, I always think about my kid. I'm like, what's going on in your life? Little boy. All right, let's see. Oh, well, that wanted to come out. Don't stop, get it, get it, get it, get it. I don't know what that was about. Don't stop. I would say I would look at this from the perception of whatever it is that you asked. If you asked it in the form of like a yes and no, I would take this as a yes. But whatever process it is that you're engaging in to get there, this is more or less encouragement from Spirit telling you not to stop, like to keep going, like to keep doing what it is that you're doing to get what it is that you want. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, it's going to take work and a process. But that has been your reading, my wonderful Aries or cross watcher of Aries. I'm going over to the Lurker's Lounge on Vimeo. So meet me over there if you're about that life. But if not, I still love you, freak face. I'll see you guys sooner than later. Deuces.
Energy, about to get in and fuck up the industry.